whare toa ara whānui te reo pōhiri o te iwi. No mai, haramai. Welcome back to the show. You know the deal. I've been hyping it up all morning. On the show with me right now, now I have Pene Pati, and I was reading his bio, and it says he's the most exceptional tenor discovery of the last decade, bro. That's a pretty cool description. How are you, bro?
Man,
welcome to the show.
Good, bro. Thank you for having me, man. That is a hardcore description if anyone had ever written one like that.
No.
It's true.
It's true. It's true.
No. I mean, like, it's right. I've seen that. I've seen it on. I think it was the San Francisco Chronicle. I'm like, damn. I paid him too much. That's why.
Yeah, he's done a good job, bro. Hey, just for our whānau out there that might not know who you are, I say might not know who you are. Just let them know what you do, bro, and where you're from, where you grew up.
Yeah, man. I'm Pene Pati. I'm an opera singer. I'm 1/3 also of the group Sole Mio. Grew up in Mangere, up in South Auckland, and Tamaki.
That's the one, bro. Easy as that. Now, I understand that being Samoan, bro, just like Māori, everywhere we go, whether it's on the marae, whether it's in church or even in the shed holding a beer, we're always singing, so it's a part of our culture. So if I'm not guessing, that's probably how you got into singing?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Exactly the way you said it. And it's funny because people say, what got you into opera per se, more than anything, which is not a field in the Pacific. Which is not really a field at all in Pacific music and Pacific Māori music. But the funny thing is that, you know, for Pacific Māori, we sing all of our legends, you know, we sing our myths, we sing our history to the next person.
Yep.
And essentially, we're actually living operatic lives that we don't know about it, you know what I mean? And I think that's what makes us different as well, is that when we get on the stage to sing opera, we're just singing what we do, you know, instead of singing what we've learned.
Yeah,
we're singing this is what we do.
Was it always what kind of, when you started getting into singing? What was it that you were doing? Was it church or was it in school or kura? There was kapa haka for most.
Bro, I was kapa haka, man, in high school. I really wasn't out of the college. I was kapa haka there, and I was singing gospel at the church.
Yeah,
I mean, those sound like the absolute roots, bro. Those sounds like the roots of any good singer. There's just some church and some school, and you're done.
Yeah. Was there any other inkling of going to other genre, whether it was R&B, hip hop, or was
believe
it
it or not? Nah, believe it or not, in 2006, when I just left high school, I was actually doing R&B and hip hop. Like, I was producing it as well.
True.
I was very much into the scene. And I think, honestly, what got me into the opera and the classical music is that someone introduced it. I really loved the discipline of it. And I thought, man, I want to give this a go. And then someone said, bro, you can't do it because you're Samoan. Like, that's not your thing. And I was like, man, I'm going to prove you wrong. And that's legit what was the first drive. I was like, I'm going to prove you wrong and then try to make this work.
And that's legit what you did as well, prove them wrong. You just said that you used to produce as well. I'm slowly getting into producing just for like the radio stuff here. Was that like a passion of yours, or was that just something that you did because you love music?
I was singing, what's it called? Over in Otahuhu College, which was one of our brother schools. They had this kind of awesome setup to record kids. And I was like, man, I knew the music teacher. And I said, I really want to work with the kids and record like a school album. So I was really amateur producing, but at the same time, I was slowly getting more and more into it, learning the nooks and crannies of all the buttons. And I loved it, man, purely on the passion of trying to get these kids to bring out their artistic passion. That was really it.
Yeah, I feel like it's only going to help you as well if you have just like an arsenal of talents, whether it's producing, singing, or writing. At least you have those things that are, you know, that are passion projects.
Yeah. Bro, and it also reflects in your operatic singing. You know, all the classical singers all kind of have the same path, which is great. It's tried and true. But coming in on this side, having, you know, doing the kapa haka, doing all the Pacific music, doing all the R&B and hip hop, it gives you a different color in the classical music and a different, as you said, a different arsenal of things you can use.
That's all, bro. Well, and on that topic of music, what music do you listen to?
bro. Everything but opera. Bro, because I work and live and breathe opera every day. You know, you're at rehearsal, you're doing shows. So when I get out of there, you just want to zone out for a bit. So I'm listening to a lot of like hip hop Kanye. I love Kanye's
just
early works,
Kanye,
you know.
off the back of Kanye just then, yeah.
Oh, see.
Have you watched his new documentary on Netflix?
Wait, when did that come out?
Genius. Last month. Oh, it started this month.
I'm
gonna
watch it. Bro, I'm gonna watch it.
It's honestly so good, and it just gives you that different aspect, different view on Kanye, because everyone says he's crazy, but oh no, you did say that you do shows as well, and apparently I heard you're a bit of a Romeo.
Bro, I'm a Romeo, man. I'm doing Romeo and Juliet here in San Diego, California.
True.
It seems like it's a signature role now, and it's quite nice because I don't think they've ever seen a big ass brown Romeo before in their lives. But you know what? If you can sing it well and sound like Romeo, hey man, that's what counts in the end.
That's all.
But yeah, I'm singing Romeo opening nights on Saturday.
That's mean. Well, I was. Hey, not to turn this back on myself, I was Troy Bolton in the school production. So I was just the exact, bro. I was a Māori boy playing a white guy on stage as well. So I know the feels, bro. You have an album coming out tomorrow. I want to hear about that.
Oh, bro, it's a full-on classical one. So it's a different one for the people. Yeah, it's the first time I recorded an album because I had been holding it off for ages. I was like, I don't want to record something unless I feel ready, because once you record it, man, it's forever. You know what I mean? Someone, if you do a mistake, someone 80 years down the line is going to be like, this dude is useless. So I really wanted to prepare well for this, to just choose the right arias and stuff to sing. So it's, yeah.
How long did it take?
Bro, it took 5 days, and it doesn't sound like much at all. It's not at all. You've got an orchestra. You sing from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And man, it's rough, man. By the end of those 5 days of recording, you get 2 weeks of no speaking just to recover.
I can imagine, bro. What else you got going on other than your show and this? Obviously you're overseas at the moment. San Fran, is it? Yeah,
I'm in San Diego, South California,
Diego,
but I'm just bouncing from show to show. I mean, the next show is in Paris. The one after that is in Berlin, and then back here to Cleveland. And so I hope to be back in New Zealand in October to do a show with the lads and do a Sole Mio tour around New Zealand. But other than that, I'll be keen as to come back home.
Yeah. Well, the performance here, what do you reckon? Have you done? How many performances do you do here, especially with Sole Mio?
We do since we only got 2 weeks, we try to do the whole of New Zealand in one span and get out. And this is going to be the first time I'm going to be touring like the Sole Mio stuff and probably my own stuff.
Let's go.
Just telling them, just like, here's the Sole Mio album, and here's my album too on the side, just letting you guys know.
A little bit of a plug.
A little bit of a plug there. It's like, come on, man. I flew all this way for it. Come on.
Oh, no, that sounds mean, bro. I can't wait, especially if you guys are doing a tour down here. You'll see me at one of those shows. And hopefully I'll find it here in Tūwhare tour as well. Bro, tell them where they can find your album and whatever else you're doing as well.
You know what? That's a good question. I don't even know where to find
I'll ask Bella after the interview.
You probably
bro, it's on Spotify, Facebook,
Spotify, Apple Music.
It's even on Tinder.
It's on the Airbnbs. Every time you log in, you'll be on there. It's everywhere, man. I tell you, you'll find it anywhere, man. Google it, you'll get it.
No, too much, my bro. Thank you for coming on the show, and I can't wait to see what you got in store for us. And I'm gonna check out this Romeo. This Romeo and Juliet.
Oh man, you'll be surprised, man. You'll be like, bro, who is this guy? Man, you'll see the slick hair.
I know, my brother. Thank you for coming on the show. That's all the time we have as well. I know. That's Pene Pati. Find all of his stuff everywhere, anywhere. Airbnb, he said, but it's probably going to be up on Spotify, YouTube. You know the deal.